So you always try, when you're putting a screw through a spring end like that, to do it so that the spring goes clockwise, the same direction as you're tightening down the spring. Will you go over the top? No, you're not. Alright, I'll take you off and put you on that way. Now then, was that screw the right screwdriver, the right one for this? No, it's not. I didn't think it was, but I was going to try anyway. So I'll try a jeweler's screwdriver. Why is it a jeweler's screwdriver? That's what they call these. And essentially, as far as I know, the reason why they call it a jeweler's screwdriver, apart from them being relatively small, meant to be sort of fine control, is they have a spinny bit on the top. So you can press against that with your hand, but you can still turn it. Now that's going into plastic, so no thread lock on that, even though it was a metal screw. And that's not tightened down. Let's see if I can tighten it down a bit more. I might not really need it tightened. I mean, essentially that's just something to stop the spring coming off, and that's going to do it, even though it's not tight down. So I'll try and tighten it down a bit more, but I'm not fantastically worried about it if it doesn't. Tighten. Having it a little bit loose isn't really a problem. So now you can see kind of see how this works. In that's its locked position. The servo will pull it like that, which will stretch the spring. And when the servo releases, the spring pulls it back and locks it into place. So now I need the other fifth wheel parts. So B6. Some of these parts are nice and easy to recognise like that. That's part B6. Even says 6 on the side of it, just in case you weren't sure. Why don't I do that from the bottom where I can get in easier, like that. And I want parts A1, B3. B3 is that one there. That's a piece you don't really want to bend too much. It's not that brittle, but you still don't want to bend it and twist it. And I want pieces A1 and A6 before I need metal parts. So they're going to be on here. That's part A6, which is a little washer. And part A1 is over here. And part A14. Okay, that's that part there. Get hold of it just so it doesn't ping and I've got to go searching for it somewhere. So I'm also going to need out another rod nut. Is that the rod nut? Which could be this. I'm not sure that's long enough. Let's get it out and find out. Not long enough wasn't quite the word I was looking for. thin enough was the word I was looking for. That has to go through there. Yes, it is. It is the. Is that the right one? Yes. No, that's not the right. Oh, it is. No, it's not. Okay, here I am trying to make up my mind. That is not the right part for that. That does not go through there. Because that does not go through there, it's not that part. So now I need to see if I've got another one. Or indeed if it was that one. I think these two are identical, though they wouldn't put two that were, well, they might. I was going to say they wouldn't put two that were very similar to each other in the same bag. Nah, there we go, there's another one there. And that one looks thinner. So that goes back in this bag. Easier said than done. Okay, so I don't lose it. More staples. You don't want to be having those laying around, especially on carpets, especially if you tend to walk around in bare feet. It's painful if you get a staple embedded in it. Mind you, I can't really speak from experience of that. I can speak from experience having a sewing needle through my foot or through my toe, but not a needle. So that should actually go through there. It does, and it should also go through that, which it does. Okay, and I'm going to need 3 by 8mm screws. I'm going to need 3 by 8mm screws. Which is going to be in, I think, this bag. Those, yeah, 3 by 3 by 3. 3 by 8mm. Countersunk. Gotta watch your pictures on this, doing this. You don't have a convenient thing down the right hand side telling you what the parts are. 2. There should be another one in here, there are, and I'm going to want 2 flange nuts. I'm trying my best here not to sort of open this packet wide open, because I don't want all these other bits to fall out, because if they do I'll have a hell of a job when I come to try and put the legs together to find the right screws. Yeah, those are the 2 flange nuts. And then I've got that bolt nut, and I'm going to want a 2 by 5mm, which came out of that other bag, and then a ball connector. Uh-oh. I shall be back in a moment. Oh, I found it. That was lucky. One of those. And another one of those. I want 2 of them. Okay. And out of this bag I want one of these ball joints. That's what the push rod will go onto to actually unlock. Actually, it's quite clever the way this works, and works with the trailer legs, in that one servo commands the legs to go down and then decouples this. It's quite a clever sort of way of doing it. So this will go this way up, through which we will be putting some of these. So I'm going to end up building this in, I was going to say in bits, not exactly in bits, but sort of like a bit at a time, like that. Spanner. Not going to tighten that down yet, because otherwise if I do that I won't be able to get the other things through, because they need a little bit of alignment. So these are the easy two. And then that will go through together with that. This is going to take a little bit of finagling. Got to get this the right way around. There's serrated bits on that edge and there's a little raised bump on this edge here. So you've got to get it not only the right way up, which is that way, but the right way around. Those are important because they press against something and you don't want it to slip, and so it presses against the bit that will tell the trailer legs to drop. Then that goes over the top. And then that, into which I will drop a little bit of thread lock, because I didn't put it on the nut, on the bolt rather. Goes through all of that plastic that I've put on there. Keep the bits in place. And that one will tighten down, leaving these parts free to move. Clever. And then we've got another, got to put this in here. Now this could be fun, because what I do is stretch the spring and get this nut to go through. Now because I've got the other end correct clockwise, this end is also correct. The spring is going clockwise. Now then, hopefully I can get that in enough that the spring, yeah, the spring doesn't pull it back out. And okay, this. Now this is just effectively a washer going through the nut. That goes in there, and that stops this whole thing just popping up. So it holds it as a sort of fairly rigid thing. And again, you can sort of tighten that down. It's plastic, you don't want to tighten it too much, but it's there, so it's still loose. And we'll get to that bit in a moment. This is the bit that does the work. And what we do is we'll screw this in here as well. Ideally that wants to go in as straight as possible. Don't want to really thread that at an angle. He says putting it in at an angle. Too late now though. Not even enough of an angle to worry about, very slightly, but it's in now. So how does this work? Well, your trailer, if it comes in, locks in like that. So, okay, so it just comes in. You don't know if you can see it happens really quickly, but this is sprung loaded. So as you reverse in, your trailer kingpin, which is this, comes into the jaws, pushes that out of the way and locks in place, and now the kingpin can't come out. It's locked in place there. To get it out, what you have to do is to pull on this. So the servo pulls on this, which as you can see unlocks that latch and the kingpin pulls out. So next is, so that's the fifth wheel. Now what we do is the fifth wheel mount. It's interesting. On every model one of these I've put together, there's always a shiny bit there. Well, it is partly where they inject it, I guess, but it's always shiny there, as it was on the other one as well. Okay, so now I need two metal parts. The saddle and the pin. I'm going to have to gotta find them. I'm going to need the two push rods out of here. Or one push rod. Yeah, I don't know which push rod it is. I'll leave them in there for the minute. Where's the saddle? Oh, is that part of the original? Ah, yeah, they're part of the original kit, I think. Yeah, they will be. So essentially, yeah. Okay, next bit is about mounting the servo. So we'll come back to these the two parts here. These parts, if I remember correctly, I'm not actually sure it tells you, but there's two parts here which are probably part of the original model. Because the original model also has a fifth wheel and a locking mechanism, but it's a manual locking mechanism, so that part there is probably part of the original kit. And it mounts in the original place. Next thing here will be to do with the servo mountings. So I want two parts on here, which are the servo mounting blocks, which is part 17 and 18, which is these two here on the right top, well, bottom left. And I can't remember, one of these two, depending on what the servo was. I can't remember what the servo was. These are it mentions basically mentions the common servos that were